Should black men date white women? That's the TikTok I just saw. So this girl was talking about how she was approached by a lady or a young girl and her group of friends, and the girl asked, do you have a problem with black men dating white women? And some of them were like, yeah, some of them said no. And then she went on to say, well, my bigger question would be, why do the white women feel like they need to date black men? And then she went and explained, like, oh, it's because of the kids, and they want the kids to look a certain way. Not sure I agree with that, but still, we're moving on, because the point of this of this lady's video is she gets to the end and she says, we need to have more conversations like this because they're not being had anymore. It's called staying in your own lane. Stay the fuck in your own lane. If you don't like to date outside of your race, that's great. I love that for you. Stay the fuck in your own lane. If you are a black girl that wants to date a white man, go for it. If you're a black girl that wants to date a Hispanic man, go for it. If you're a white woman that wants to date a black man, go for it. You get the point, correct? Got it. It's called minding your own fucking business and staying in your own lane. What does a white and a black man's relationship, how does that affect you? How does that affect you? That is the most mind-blowing part of this whole entire social media with me and Shane. And when I post him on my social media and I get all the comments, I'm like, how the fuck is my relationship an inconvenience to your life? Make it make sense. Do you agree or do you disagree? I think we should all get back in our own lanes and stay there, because what the fuck?
Okay. So we have that girl Beck. If you like her content, it'll be down in the description. Her TikTok will be down there. So she's basically reacting to a video that she saw about a white woman being with black men, right? And, my take on this situation is basically that she's somewhat right as far as telling people to stay in their own lane. I think people should go where they're celebrated, right? Me, my background, I'm probably you would say a eighth white, because I got some French in my family, but I identify as a black American, right? But in saying that, if you see my mom, you would be able to tell she's black, but she's one of those people that are very, 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 very light skinned, to where, you could argue that she looks white, right? So in saying that, when it comes down to this conversation and when it comes down to how black women feel about it, me personally, right, if I brought a white woman home, yeah, the black woman in my family would look at me some type of way. The black women that I know outside of my family, they would probably be side-eyeing a little bit. And me, I have dabbled and played in the snow in my time, I have, but not in a serious relationship type of thing. And I don't think that's necessarily me not looking to be in a serious relationship with a white woman. With me, it's all about how you treat me and how attractive that I find you and how you move throughout life. Are you a good person? All those good things. Are you someone that is pleasant to be around? Do you make me, feel, do you add value to my life? All those things. I look at all those things before I look at your race. But for the black women that do, or for the black men also, I think it's more so seeing it as diluting the race a little bit. Some people don't like that. And we also have white people that don't like that too. They feel like, oh no, if our women have sex with black men, then there ain't gonna be no more white people. And on the black woman side, I think they see it as more so a competition thing, because we got to be realistic, right? I always say there's more women than men, and then you have the amount of men going to jail, and you have the amount of men playing for the other team, right? So that leaves a smaller pool of black men out here for the black woman, right? And black women, I think most of them, their first choice is to be with a black man. I think that's just a natural thing for you to want somebody that kind of looks like you first, and then if you have some bad experiences or certain things, come into your life, or maybe just your proximity, who you are around, like who you're born around, the people that you go to school with, if they're more so mostly another race, then yeah, you're more likely to be with that other race. So I think it's just more so proximity and a more so competition type of thing between women. Like I said, there aren't so there's already a small pool of available black men, and then you have the black men that women actually want. That's a even smaller pool, right? They always say 80% of the women go after 20% of the men, and that's true in most cases. That's definitely true in most cases. So when you have a woman like this, I think she just doesn't understand the aspect that black women they're competitive, man. They're competitive. They like to say they aren't competing with other women, but usually they are in most cases, and that's just because the amount of successful available black men is a small pool, and they're all kind of going after those same type of archetype of guys. But like I said, I identify as a black American first. Some people's like, oh, you're mixed, or you look this, you look that. I've heard that kind of my whole life, but I've always wanted to be with black women first. That's just kind of my thing. Now, I did kind of have the preference for light-skinned black women, but I've been in serious relationships with dark-skinned black women from the Caribbean, African black women. Like, I've been in relationships with all types of black women, so not even just black Americans. That's just kind of been my first preferences, a woman that I can more so relate to culturally. But like I said, I'm not against being in relationships with Latino women. I've been with Latino women also. I kind of see them as black also. Just their slave ships were just dropped off in different places. It's kind of how I see them. White woman, proximity wise, I went to 3 HBCUs, so in my high school was mostly black, and it was mostly black and Hispanic. So just proximity wise, besides like me and my travels and the far and few in between white women that I have been with, for little flings and stuff like that, it just hasn't been available to me. But had I grown up in a place where that was mostly the option, I probably would be with a white woman. If I went to Oklahoma University or any of those or Nebraska or something like that, then yeah, I might have been with a white woman. So me personally, I think people should just go for, especially men, right? Men, we need to go for the women that like us, but make sure there aren't any like hidden agendas behind that, like any weird fetishes or stuff like that. You got to watch out for that type of stuff also. But we can check out some of the comments. Someone said, isn't Trump considering making black-white marriage illegal? I don't think Trump is doing that. There we go. Someone said, it's dangerous in this time of age for a black man to date a white woman. I wouldn't say that, man. We see one-off cases. Most people see the Shannon Sharp type of stuff going on. But even then, that woman, I think she's like Spanish, right? I think she's from Spain. Someone said, no, first argument, she will remind you what color you are. Then you're not with a good person if she's, got like some hidden racism in her. Hey, and that's the thing, like all women, they throw, like once y'all get into an argument, you find out who a woman really is. They're gonna bring up that thing, that traumatic thing that happened to you that you trusted her with, and sometimes they might, say stuff about your appearance. Hey, you do you, and whatever makes you happy. Just know that there is a 75% chance you will parent alone. That's a white guy talking to her because she's dating a black man. That's fucked up. This guy said, I love white woman. Why couldn't a black girl be a black woman? It starts there. Yeah, he's arguing semantics. I do date black men. My preference is my business. Yeah, man, everybody's preference is their business. I think when it comes to black women, they're the only one who they feel like they can have a preference, and you know it shouldn't be judged, but for everybody else it has to be a problem, right? And that's not all black women, but a lot of them. You see that online. I'm not gonna say that's really even majority of black women, because it's only on the internet. I agree, I love white women. Nope, there are more black queens that need to be married. Black men need to be with black women. We have gone through too much, and we as black people need to work on everything. We need a way. It's a nice perspective. People need to date who they want to date. Race shouldn't matter. Yeah, even me, like I at one point in life, I didn't like the sight of like a black woman with a black woman with a white man. I didn't like the sight of that at one point in my life, but I don't know. I just feel like that was something that I grew out of. Like I'm not. I don't know. I just see people, man. I just see people. Yeah, race is a factor in society nowadays, but you know what I'm saying? If you lead with that and let that be on the forefront of your mind all the time, you're not gonna really get too far in life. Someone said, ask Shannon Sharp. Well, yeah, we're going to end it off right there. Let me know what y'all think about this whole conversation, though, down in the comments below. As always, love y'all. I'm out.